So whenever I click on this button, whenever I log in, whenever you're going to put a form input field like login input fields, username and password. You're going to click on the until unless you're going to click on the login. Are you going to log in? No. Once you entered all these input fields, you're going to hit enter or you're going to click the login button. Then you're going to log in it. You're going to try to log into the page, right? Means that is the event. Okay, so event is an action which is triggered by the end user. It's an action, right? It is I'm giving externally. See, events not only exist in JavaScript, every program has events, even C++. So at the end, who is gonna use your web programs? Humans. Okay, we have a mobile, so we have events, right? Touchscreen is an input device, so we have input device. I'm double tap, single tap, right? So these are all the events, right, which is triggered by the end user. Okay, so every program language has events. Without events, none of the program language doesn't work, because at the end I'm the one who's using the program, right? Programming, I'm the one using, right? So in JavaScript also we have a events. See, whenever something is clicking or resizing, this is also one of the event. Resizing a window, it's also an event. Scrolling, it's also a event, right? Submitting the form, it's also an event. Okay, every action provided when I type input keystrokes, that's also one of the events. Okay, so basically we will use input devices to provide events, right? Keyboard and mouse, basically. Some websites has touchscreens also, some laptops supports touchscreens also, right? So these are all, everything is an event. Any action triggered by the end user is called the event. We need to capture that event. Okay, we have to respond to that event. We'll execute some set of statements, some functions, basically. Okay, I will print something in the DOM, or I will give some alert message. So this is all about events. Okay, first I'll go and write the event. What is an event? Event is an action. Event is an action that can be triggered by end user. Okay, to interact, I need to interact, right? Without interact, website doesn't work. Without clicking login button, I'm not gonna log into the page, your website, Facebook, Instagram, right? We can't able to see any profiles or any posts, right? So interact with web or mobile page. This is all about event. Okay, so how many ways we can see? Of course, so we have an event, so there are so many ways we can implement an event. Okay, how many ways we can able to implement an events in JavaScript? There are two ways. One is inline event handler, another one is add event listener method. Of course, the best is add event listener. So we have a lot of drawbacks in inline event listener. I will show you that one. Okay, see, I'm going to the button. See, on which element I want to attach an event, on which element an action is occurred. So on that element I want to add an event, right? So what is the element here? I'm a user trying to put an action. Button. On the button only user is going to click, right? So this is the element the user is going to use to interact with the web page, right? So I will go to that button. I will add an attribute called on click. See, we have a lot of events, guys. You can scroll it, you can see a lot of events. See, on abort, on blur, on can play, on change, on click, on context menu means right click, on double click. If you double click the left click, okay, it's a double click. So for that one, on drag end, on drag enter. So we have a huge list of events. We are not at all using all these things. So whatever the things, so basically click is a frequent using. Okay, so you will see a lot of list of events, JavaScript events. Okay, So here I'm looking for on click. Whenever I click on this one, on that time I want to print it. Okay, here you can provide a function, or I can write a code here itself only. So whenever I click, I will provide an alert. I will print a message inside the alert like button was clicked. This is a message. I want to print it inside a alert path. Save it. See, whenever I click on this button, you can see an alert pop up with this message. Understood? See, this is an event. See, I'm just loading the page, nothing will happen. I'm just loading the page, nothing is happening. See, that's what I'm saying. See, until unless user clicks on this button, that code doesn't execute. See, whenever I click on this one, on the time this code is executing. Understood? So this is called inline event listener. But I will not prefer this way. First thing, why? The first drawback. See, if I use inline event listener, if you want to add a multiple event, see, I'm not only click on this button, I can hover on this button also as well. See, hover effect. Okay, I can hover on this button on the time also. This is also one of the event, right? Mouse enter. See, so this is called mouse enter. This is called mouse leave. Okay, so this event is called mouse enter. So in that event, so the mouse is trying to enter into the HTML element, right? This is also one of the event. Whenever the mouse starts enter into the HTML, I want to capture the event, I want to execute some code, right? So if you have a multiple events, such type of events, it's not possible to implement a multiple events on the same element. It's a one drawback. Second, in the beginning I told you SOC. SOC, what is SOC? SEO. Search engine optimization, SEO. What is SOC? It's a coding standard. What is dry principle? DRY. Do not repeat yourself. You should not repeat the same code again and again, right? So again, SOC. Separate of concern. Means, see, observe. Did I mixed any CSS inside HTML? All CSS will be in one place, right? Of course, here I'm using internal CSS, but when it comes to real time, we will use external CSS. See, all CSS will be one side, all HTML will be one side, all JavaScript will be one side. So if you organize your code like such a way, so easy to maintain. First thing, you can easily maintain your code. So if you want to do changes, you can go and changes in the CSS. If you want to do changes in the HTML, you can go and do changes in the HTML. If you mix everything, okay, definitely you will screw up. You can't able to find where you want to touch. Everything is mixed up. Okay, right? So if you return, see, actually basically if I using inline event listener, I'm mixing JavaScript inside an HTML, right? So such type of implementation, so it's too hard to maintain such type of code. So it violates SOC principle, separate of concern. Understood? And one more third drawback. So I added an event. So we have a way we can remove an event as well also. Sometimes I can add, so after certain time, after 5 or 10 seconds, I want to remove it also. So it's not possible using inline. So there are 3 drawbacks. Okay, so we can't able to add multiple events, so it violates SOC, and we can't able to remove it also. Understood? So I will not prefer this way, but as of we know, so we should know these things. Okay, so you can do this one, or I have one more way. I'm gonna write another way of coding. Okay, inline event handling. What is handling, guys? See, whenever something is happens, we need to respond to this action, right? This is called handling. So inline event handling. So I'm gonna write a simple function. Yeah. So function click handler. It's a function name. So inside this one, I will print alert pop-up. Okay, button was clicked. Okay, so I will make the, see, instead of writing the code here only, I will call this function here. So I have created a function. Did I call function anywhere here in my JS? No. Who is responsible to calling this function? This event. Whenever an event occurs, on that time only I will call this function. Of course, you know the function behavior. Until unless you are not calling the function, function will not execute. Someone has to call. Either I can call, either event can call. Right? See, I can attach this function. What is the function name here? Click handler, right? Okay. So whenever a click occurs, on click occurs, so I'm calling this click handler function. What does click handler function does? It will put an alert pop. The same behavior. Understood? So such type of implementation is called inline event handling. Okay. I will copy this one. I will keep it here for your reference because I will remove now that. I'll keep it your reference. I'll keep this function as well as in the comment section only. So you can uncomment and can practice it. Okay. I will remove this one. This is not a good way of implementation. Okay, come back to here. Next, the second way is called add event listener method, right? Add event listener method. This is the best approach. Okay, so this is always a best approach. So first, the thing is that so if you want to using add event listener, first you need to select the element. What is the element I want to attach an event? On which element I want to attach an event? Button. How to select a button using DOM selection methods? You already heard from last 3 classes. Okay. Of course, first document. So first I need to store it in a variable const button. First I will select the button and I store it in a variable. The variable name is called button. So here document dot query selector. I will use query selector. Since I have only one button, I will use tag based selection. Okay, I have only one button, right? Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. So in inline event handling, the attribute value is we are taking as a function, right?
Attribute value. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The function name.
So
What is the
there is
function?
a link between those two.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay. See, const button. First, I have selected a button and I stored in a separate variable. Next, for that button, dot add event listener. This is the method, guys. So this is also a function which is being created from the JavaScript creators. I'm just using it. See, this is a custom function which has been created by me. I'm gonna calling it. So this also a function, but I can't see the logic. They're gonna wrap it up. Okay, because we have nothing to do with these things, right? So it's also a function. Don't think it's or something else. Okay, it's also a function which is created by the JavaScript creators. Add event listener is a method or a function. So this function will take a 2 arguments. One is what is the event and what is the function I want to call. Second. So first I will write a function. I will write the same function as it is. I will return a function. Okay. First, this method will take what is the event. See here inside the add event listener, don't use on click. Only the event name click. That's it. As a string. Okay, I will show you where to see this list of events, JavaScript events. Okay, click. This is the first argument. Second argument. What is the function I want to call here? So just to write the function, do not use parentheses. Don't call it. Who is gonna call? This will take care of all these things. Okay, make a difference. See, here I'm calling myself, but here I'm just giving the function name. What is the function I want to call? Just provide the function name. That's it. Okay, let's save it. So you can able to see the same function call it. Understood? So this how the add event listener method is going to work. But what is the use of this way? See, did I touch any HTML file here to attach an event? So I will my HTML file as it is means it approves. It will follows SOC, and also I can add an event. I can remove one. So we have another method called remove event listener. We can remove it, okay, and it will. I can able to add a multiple events also. For the same button, I can add a multiple events. So I will show that one also. I'm going to write another function, second function. Over handler. See, this time I'll put an alert. Mouse forward. Okay, this is the message I want to print. For the same button, I will add another event. Button dot add event listener. So what is the event name here? Mouse mouse over. Okay, mouse over. What is the event I want? And so what is the function I want to execute? See, I'm not clicked. I'm just forward on it. I'm just forward on it. That's it. I'm not clicking. See, mouse over. Okay, of course click doesn't work. So I will, instead of alert, I'll put it in a console log, because every time I want to click that one, I'll print console log. See, mouse over, clicked. Two events on a single element. It's not possible using inline event list. Understood? So I'm going to stop it here for today. So it's all about event handlers. Okay, tomorrow we'll learn about timers. Okay, so how to create a timers in JavaScript. We need to set it some seconds. Okay, after certain seconds I want to execute some code, timers, and as well as event objects, bubbling and capturing, so all the remaining events topics. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, so any doubts online?
Sir, for add event listener, you should define first the function and then you write the code. The function click cancel.
Yes, first you need to select the element. The prerequisite is first select the element. On which element you are adding an event. Next, add event is the method. Next, what is the event method? What is the event I'm looking for? Click event. What is the function I want to call? So, come again?
You should define the function that function.
Of course, you should define. Otherwise, you can write the function itself only. But make a practice this first thing. Later, I will try to write here arrow functions, simpler functions. Okay. So just do the practice what I explained exactly the same way. So tomorrow I will show you how to write an function with using arrow function without another function, right? Inside this one also we can write arrow functions. Okay.
Not the for event handling you define the function, right? Event.
This is the function.
Once again, can you show the difference between inline event listener and
yeah, inline event listener where you are handling the attaching the event in the HTML file only, right?
okay.
That's what I explained, right? In the HTML file only I am handling the event, but when it comes to add event listener in the JS file.
Okay.
Understood? See why I kept this one, because for your understanding, guys, don't get confused. Okay, so for your understanding I kept here comment. So this is the way of inline event listener I am handling here. Okay, don't get confused. So inline event listener, you are not going to attach event in the JS. Inside the HTML you're going to do this thing.
Okay.
But when it comes to add event list there, you're gonna do everything inside a JS only. You're not gonna touch the HTML. Just I'm selecting the button.
Okay.
Understood? Any doubts?
Sir, I have one last doubt.
Uh-huh.
Here, whenever we are implementing like
Uh-huh.
button dot add listener, document dot replace a listener, what is it actually technically dot?
What is dot?
Yeah,
Where do you use dot? I already explained you.
it's like accessing property dot notation. Is this the same? Is that the
Yes,
same dot
exactly. I
notation?
told you in the beginning, everything is in object in JavaScript. See, document is also an object. That's called DOM. What is DOM? Document object model. So, if you have an object, inside an object, how do you access property using either dot notation or bracket notation, right? So,
Correct.
dot means they already added these methods inside a document object. I'm just using it. So,
Same
everything is
goes
an
with
object.
everything.
Wherever you see dot, everything is an object. See, array dot push, even array is also object. String dot uppercase, lowercase. String is also an object. Everything is an object in JavaScript, guys.
And again, the tags of HTML is also
Yes,
object again.
everything is an object. Everything is this. It's going to store as an object only.
Oh,
Even HTML
fine.
tags, HTML elements, everything is an object. That's called DOM. What is the DOM says? It's an object representation of HTML elements, right? Tree-like structure.
Yes, yes.
That's what I say in the beginning. Understood?
Okay,
So
okay, okay,
dot
sir.
means see, of course, it's also an object. Inside the object, I can able to access this method. See, what is a method? Any function inside an object we call it as a method. So we are going to write those methods. I will show you when it comes start with advanced JavaScript. So I will show you how to write a method, how to write a function inside an object, or how to access it. We have a huge topics. This keyword. We have a lot of call, bind, apply, etc., etc. We have a lot of stuffs. Okay.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Okay. That's it. See, of course, button was clicked should be executed because I clicked on the button. Did I click on the div? No. See, while traveling back, so I have an add event listener for the button. It will handle perfect. But while traveling back, it also handles the event handlers of the parent, any of the parent. Understood? So this is called bubbles. So while I'll showing that event object bubbles true, right? Means by default bubbling is working perfectly. Understood? So this bubbling is working. So I'm not done means. But see, observe. When I click on the div, the only div will work. Well, I will experiment. See, I'm click on the div, only div was clicked. Why? See, I will write the diagram. So the events start propagating and events reaches the target and events goes back. But it never ever reaches the button on that time. So that's the reason button was not clicked. You will not click this one. But when you click on the button, because button is a children for the div, the event also start propagates through the div as well also. And while it moves away back, whenever event occurs in the target element and when it moves away back, so any of the parent has an add event list, then it also handles that event while moving away back. Okay, so this is called bubbling and capturing. Understood, guys? Online, any doubts? Guys, can you hear me? Hello, guys. Yes or no? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, at least you should respond, right? Yeah, please turn on your mic and respond. Yes or no. Okay, see, guys, that's the reason I told you try to come offline classes. Okay, so things getting serious. Okay, try to come offline. If you get a chance, try to come offline. I will try to explain as much as be. Guys, someone will easily can catch that. Someone will try to some little bit difficult to understand the concept, but that doesn't mean so one is greater. Not now, no one is greater. Even if I want to understand this concept, I will took 1 week of time. Okay, everyone has their own potential. Okay, so but end of the day, everyone should learn. That's it. Everyone should learn. Okay, try to come offline, guys. Okay, so if you know the JavaScript, no one is wants to teach React. You can easily learn yourself. Even if you know the Angular, no one is need to tell you, so you can easily learn it. Okay, this is a core idea. Okay, so if you learn this JavaScript, you can become full stack. Node.js is also built on top of JavaScript only. Okay, so try to come to offline if possible. Don't stay there only always. If you get a chance, come offline. Okay, so go to this recording. Okay, finish that yesterday's task. I will share you the today's recordings and yesterday's recordings and files. Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir.